So it's academic year rollover time again, and it's time to look at your Microsoft School Data Sync, archive off your old classes, and start creating your new teams for the new academic year. So if you're a Cloud Design Box customer, you don't need to worry about this because we're going to do it for you, and you should have received a rollover form from us. And if you are a Cloud Design Box customer, you also get the benefits of having centralized subject sites to avoid copying and moving teacher resources year on year. You have a managed rollover process because we archive those old teams for you. We'll set up all the new teams. We can even create them early in advance before your timetable goes live in your MIS system. And we provide that managed SDS service where we'll set up and automate all your classes from your MIS data, including a load of other types of classes that you just can't create out of the box, depending which system you're using. And we've also got that class dashboard time machine where you can view your archive classes really quick and easily, so they can go backwards a year or two depending on when you started using the product, and it just makes it really quick and easy if you've got those 2-year classes. If you've got an A-level course or GCSE course we need to go back to a previous academic year and just see what work was done that year, you can always use that time machine option to do that really quickly and easily. So the rollover process hasn't changed this year compared to last year, so I'm going to recycle our video from last summer. But it's worth noting that this is the last year it will be classic SDS. Next year will be the new SDS, so there'll be completely new instructions next summer. That should be released around September time, certainly for next summer. So we'll be redoing this video next summer with a completely new set of instructions. If you do have any questions, you want to contact us further, you can find our contact details on the screen. So it's very similar to the previous years. In fact, it's exactly the same. Not much has changed in terms of SDS, and Microsoft will have a new version of SDS out next year, so that will completely change the process. But for this summer, this is a process that you go through to roll over your classes to the new academic year. So first we go into the SDS admin interface. If you're not sure where that is, you can go to all admin centers inside the admin center and choose School Data Sync, and that will take you to this page. Now you might have a single profile for this academic year, you might have multiple ones if you've got multiple schools inside a single tenant. We're only going to do one at a time here. So the first one I'm going to go to is the Cloud Academy demo, and this is one that needs to be rolled over. So before we start the new term and upload the new data, we need to run a group cleanup, and I can just click on the link there to take me to the instructions on how to do that. And the way that we do this is we just go to the people area inside the admin center, then go to memberships, and first we create a group report, and then we're going to use that group report to create our cleanup. You might have a previous one here, but you always need to generate a new one, so you've got an up-to-date one for this summer. This may take a few minutes. So I've just waited a few minutes to refresh the page, and I can see it's got 10th of August, which is today, 2022, so I can download the section report. This will download a CSV file. So when I open this up, I can filter this. So probably the best way to do this is just to convert it to a table. And then it just gives us a bit more flexibility when it comes to sorting these. So you could find your teams that you want to archive by the creator date. You might also need to find them by their prefix. If you've got multiple schools, you only want to roll over a single school at this time. In this example, I need to do both. So in this example, I already know that my old ones are archived off. It's only this 2021 classes that I want to archive, and I only want to archive them for one class that I've made sure that all my classes had a prefix with that school code. So I'm going to go into the section ID and add in some filters. I'm going to add in a contains, and I'm going to put in the school code, and I'm also going to filter it by the ones that I've again prefixed with 2021. So that's really useful if when you're uploading your CSVs, make sure that you put the academic year and the school code in. Even if you're a single school, you never know when it's going to become a multi-academy trust, and it just helps you when you get to this stage filter that. So that's filtered it for me. And I might want to just do a quick check and make sure these are all okay. And that is correct. These are the ones that I want to be archived off. So what I'm going to do just to make things simple, this is probably the quickest way I've found of doing it, is just select all these ones I want to archive off. I'm going to copy it, just go create a new tab, paste those in. So I've only got the classes that I want to archive off in here. And then just going to delete that old tab. Just go rename this to the same one so it's in the same format. Now we need to save this as a CSV with exactly the same name that it had before, section usage. So I'm just going to press save, and that should have saved it now. So to do the group cleanup, we go back into the admin center, click group cleanup under memberships, and I've already generated my report, so I can go select a group report, and I can select that section usage report that I downloaded and edited in the earlier step. Click upload, click next, and I've got a couple of options here. Can mark it as expired. I don't need to do that because I've prefixed my class IDs well, because we've added in the academic year and the school prefix, so we don't need to do that at all. That would just probably make things a bit more difficult moving forward. So just going to archive them, run the cleanup, and this may take quite a long time to do. What you might find is it might miss the odd class as well. You might have to go in and tidy up a few afterwards, but it does get most of them. So again, this may take a while. It's going to loop through all those classes and set the status to archived. That will make them disappear. They're still available in read-only mode. The people are still going to be frozen in time in those class teams, so nobody loses any work. But they are a bit more tricky to find, and we've got another post on how to find your archive class teams for the end user. Also with our class dashboard product, it means you can use a time machine option just to jump back into those archive classes really quick and easily. So I've waited about 10 minutes, and then we go back into the group cleanup, and it says it's been completed. You can generate a new report and just check on the progress and make sure everything's archived, you expect it to be archived. So assuming that's worked, we can then go back into the profile and we can start the new term. And it won't strip out people now, whereas it would have done before if we didn't archive them off and clean them up. So it's asked me to create a new profile expiry date. I'm going to choose 1st of July. You may want to change that depending when your academic year ends. I was trying to give it a bit of padding, so if you're connected to your MIS, it doesn't strip out people if the academic year ends slightly earlier. We just leave it set up as you had previously. Click save. And then we're ready to upload the new data. And then we select our new spreadsheets for the new academic year. Obviously make sure those are correct before you upload them. Click upload. And they've been uploaded successfully. And it's the same process whether you're using version 1 of the spreadsheets, which I'm using at the moment, or version 2.1. Like I say, this process will change next year. It will be very different next year with completely different spreadsheet setups using version 2.1 and also completely different archive process. So we'll try and get that information to you well in advance next summer. So this is validating the files. It may take a while to process all those new classes, but that's it. You should be done then, and it will create the new classes for the new academic year. If you want to find out more information about how we can automate this process for you and help you adopt 365 in the classroom, feel free to get in contact. Our contact details are on the screen.